Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to our second day of the Vedic Sanskrit course. We'll start with the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shwapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shrirupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Shabadhutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nam Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रा सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So let's continue with our basic Sanskrit course. So last time we had this introduction why learning Sanskrit is important, and we discussed about how this knowledge of Sanskrit can deepen our understanding of the scriptures. And our acharyas like Jiva Goswami, he is recommending, he is writing a whole Vyakaran with the names of Lord Hari, Hari Namamrita Vyakaranam. And in the invocation, Mangalacharan, Jiva Goswami says, Vyakaranam Vaishnavartham Achinmaha. I am writing this Vyakaran for devotees. Okay. And Srila Prabhupada also expects that we should know each and every chapter and verses of the scriptures. So, if we have this knowledge of Sanskrit, then memorizing verses will be very, very easy. Recitation of the verses, you will become expert. And also, different meanings of different verses from different perspectives, you can get those meanings. Those meanings will be revealed. And our overall depth of scriptural study will improve. And ultimately, that will bring us closer to Krishna. So, with that introduction, today we will start the technical portion. So, we'll talk about the Sanskrit alphabet today. So, just like every other language, and Sanskrit is the mother of all languages, we know. So, in our mother tongue, we have this vowels and consonants, right? And all the like different Indian languages, they are very similar. Tamil, Telugu, Bengali, Marathi, Hindi. And like the writing style of Sanskrit, the fonts, they are very similar to Hindi. So just like other alphabets, Sanskrit also has vowels and consonants. So vowels are called swaras. In traditional Sanskrit, there is a name for vowels that is called swaras. And the traditional name for consonants are vyanjanas. So I would highly recommend that you write down all those things, whatever is written here. I will go over the things gradually and you can write it down. Then your understanding and will be better, and you can also keep them memorized. All these different things, different concepts which we are going to discuss today. So traditionally, there are like different schools of Sanskrit grammar. So one school is the Paninian school. Panini, we know he has written Ashtadhyayi. So traditionally, people follow Panini style, but we as devotees we follow the style of Jiva Goswami. So there are two different schools: Paninian school and another school is Harinamamrita Vyakaranam by Jiva Goswami. And Harinamamrita Vyakaranam means it is essentially the same Vyakaran, Harinamamrita. The terminologies are different, and the terminologies are with the names of Lord Hari. That's why it is called Harinamamrita Vyakaranam. So vowels are called swaras traditionally, and consonants are called vyanjanas. And Jiva Goswami has renamed them. Vowels are called Sarveshwara, and consonants are called Vishnujana. Okay, Sarveshwara and Vishnujana. So Sarveshwara means Sarva Ishwara, who is the controller of everything and everyone, and that is the name of Krishna. Vishnujana means the followers of Vishnu. That means the devotees. So this is how we can see. And in Sanskrit, we have 14 different vowels. Tatrado Chaturdasha Sarveshwara. And all these vowels and consonants, they are coming from Narayana. Okay. In traditional Sanskrit, Paninian Sanskrit, they believe that everything is coming from Lord Shiva. But in Harinamamrita Vyakaranam, we know everything is coming from Narayana. So even in the Goloka chart, if we see the Vaikuntha, we can actually see that how these Varnas are coming from Narayana. So Narayana is residing in Vaikuntha, and you can see all these different Sanskrit letters. They are coming from the lotus wells of Vaikuntha. So it is coming from Narayana. And as Vaishnavas, we also know that the source of Shiva is also Vishnu. In Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji explains, Kshiram jatha dadivikar vishesha yogat sanjayate nahi tata pritag asti heto yah shambhutam api tadashmu paidikaryat govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. So Shiva is a transformation of Vishnu. So Narayan is the Adi, or Narayan is the origin of everything. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhapo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva vajante imam buddha bhava samanvita. So Narayana dudhutoyam varnakramaha, that is the first sutra of Harinamamrita Vyakaranam. And that says that all these different letters or varnas, whether they are vowels or consonants, everything is originated from Narayan. And tatrado chaturdasha sarveshwaraha. And the first 14 of them are called sarveshwaras or vowels. Okay. It is very important to recognize what are the different vowels, their like pronunciations, and the diacritics. I will come to diacritics. What is diacritics? So before that, these are the 14 Sarveshwaras. You might have all of them in your like native language as well. So this is called a, e, u, re, ri, a, I, o, au. Okay, so these are the Tatrado Chaturdasha Sarveshwara. If you count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then another 4. So these are the 14 Sarveshwaras. Now, within this, you have Laghu and Guru. Two kinds of syllables are there, two kinds of Varnas. Laghu Varna and Guru Varna. Laghu means light, Guru means heavy. For example, A is the lighter version. A is the like Guru or heavier version. E is the lighter version. E is the heavier version. So lighter, heavier means it takes more time to pronounce. A takes less time, then A, then E. That takes less time, but E takes greater time. U, like that. So this is how we can see within the Sarveshwaras, there is a like distinction. Some are called Laghus and some are called Gurus. So traditionally they are called Laghus and Gurus. Now Jiva Goswami will do some modification. Jiva Goswami says the Laghu means Bhamana and Guru means Trivikrama. So at any point, if you have any questions, I'm trying to go as slow as possible so that everything imbibes. into your memory and you can understand everything properly. At any point, if you have any doubt, please raise your hand and I will ask you to unmute and then you can question. So I think it is clear what are the different vowels, and there are different categories like laghus and gurus traditionally. And Jiva Goswami is telling laghu means Vamana and guru means Trivikrama. Why? Because Lord Vamandev came to Bali Maharaj as a dwarf Brahmana. And after, while taking the charity, Vamandev expanded as Trivikrama. In that Trivikrama form, Vamandev uh, increased to such a huge size that the entire universe was falling short. So that huge form of Vamandev is called Trivikrama, and the smaller form is called Vamana. So A is a Vamana, A is a Trivikrama, E is a Vamana, E is a Trivikrama, U is a Vamana, U is a Trivikrama. Similarly, Ri and Ri, 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 like that. A, I, O, O. So, like among this first 10, we have Vamana Trivikrama, Vamana Trivikrama, Vamana Trivikrama, Vamana Trivikrama, Vamana Trivikrama. Or Laghu Guru, Laghu Guru, Laghu Guru, Laghu Guru, Laghu Guru. 5 pairs. A, I, U, U, Ri, 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 Ri. Okay, 5 pairs. And these 4, A, I, O, O, they are all Trivikramas. Why? They take longer time. A, I, O, O, like that. So they are all Trivikramas. And within the first 10, Laghu Guru, or Vamana Trivikrama, Vamana Trivikrama, Vamana Trivikrama, like that. Clear? So apart from these vowels, there are 3 other sounds which are called ang, and aha. So this is called Anuswara, and this is called Chandra Bindu, and this is called Visarga. In our native language, like in Bengali also, they are very similar. So they have different pronunciation. This is called this is ang, and this is aha, like Visarga. So we'll go into much more details. I will explain with examples of that. So before that, so we know what are the vowels and what are laghus and gurus. And then there is another thing called diacritics. So why this diacritic is there? Some people may not be acquainted with this style of writing, like the Sanskrit fonts, but English is a very famous language. So in English, if you try to represent these syllables, these varnas, how would you represent? Then you have to apply some diacritics or diacritical marks. So if you see here, these are like English letters A, I, U, R, but they have some annotations. Why these annotations are needed? Because in English you have only 26 alphabets and you cannot represent all the different phonetics, like all different sounds. Like in English, for A, there is the letter A, but there is a differentiation between A and A. How do you differentiate with only one letter? So you cannot. So you have to annotate that letter A with something so that it means you mean a longer A. So that is A. If there is a bar on top of A, then on top of A, then it represents the bigger matra, the Trivikrama form. Similarly, E means I, and the bigger form is I with a bar. Instead of the dot, you put a bar. In the Vedas, whenever we see verses, so verse is given in Sanskrit and then in English also with diacritical marks. So this is called English transliteration with the diacritical marks. Okay. So similarly, we have U and the bigger U, that means a bar. So we have to remember these things. So one like diacritical mark, we learned that if there is a bar on top, that means the bigger matra, the Trivikrama form, right? Similarly, R means Ra, but this is not Ra, this is Ri. Ra is a Vyanjan, consonant. That is represented by R, but this is Ri. How to represent Ri? That additional stress. So whenever there is a stress, you put a dot beneath here, like R. and a dot under R. Okay. And this Re is the bigger form of this. So R with a dot and also a bar. Similarly, Re. Re is also with a dot, L with a dot at the bottom. And Re, the bigger version, is having a bar on top. Okay. A means E, and this sound is I. So I, how do we represent in English? Naturally AI, that is I. Then O, how would you represent? With simply O. And OU, how would you represent? AU, OU. So these are the like different pronunciations. So Srila Prabhupada wanted to teach all this Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam to Westerners who has like no conception of what are these. So to make them pronounce correctly, this system is there. This system was previously also, Srila Prabhupada used it very like profoundly in his texts. So these are called diacritical marks. And we learn what are the vowels, the diacritics for the vowels, and then Bhamana, Trivikrama. And additionally, there are three other sounds, ang, and aha. Okay. So let me now give you examples of what are these sounds actually. So this is the sound of a Anuswara, this is the sound of a Chandrabindu, and this is the sound of a Visarga. These are additional three sounds which we see in different texts of Sanskrit. So is very prevalent. Like if you take any verses, there is a chance that you will find some there. So let's take Bhagavad Gita 1.2. The second verse of Bhagavad Gita. So this verse, here you can see the Sanskrit, and then there is English transliteration. Sanjaya Uvacham Drishtva tu Pandavanikam. So this is called Pandavanikam with a dot above. That is that the sound is You follow the sound Pandavanikam. Pandavanikam. So that is represented by M with a dot on top. Okay. And in Sanskrit, that is represented by the letter, and you just put a dot on top. Okay. So I'm showing here with a, but it can be with anything. Okay. It can be with ka, it can be with any letter. So the letter is just for reference. These are the like sounds, ang, and aha. So in English, if we write the diacritics for them, how would it look? So yeah, so would be AM with a dot on top. Okay, so this will be And similarly, how would you represent this ang? So in English also, this will come like the Chandra Bindu will come as it is. Just a moment. Yeah. So the example we will find in Srimad Bhagavatam 6.8.34. The screen is lagging a little bit. Yeah. So in English transliteration, the ang will be represented by A with that Chandravindu on top. And aha, this Visarga will be replaced by H with a stress, H with a dot beneath. So this might be a little confusing. Sometimes the dot is coming on top, sometimes like coming on bottom. But with practice, it will be easier. Okay. Then you will identify like what is the meaning of these diacritical marks. So for now, you just write it down that means AM with a dot above, and ang means A with a Chandrabindu, like that. And aha means whenever you see a Visarga, that means H with a dot at the bottom. Okay. So these are 3 additional sounds. Just take a note of it. And then we'll go into different examples. So write down all these Sarveshwaras with the diacritics and 3 additional sounds. And then we'll go to the examples. Till then, if there is any question regarding the vowels or Sarveshwara, we can take. Yeah, Ayush Prabhu, you can unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Regarding this re, and re. So this thing also come under consonant
No,
and
no. So that is law. Law is a consonant, but re and re they are vowels. But there is not much use of that. But they are considered to be vowels by Jiva Goswami.
okay. Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay. Let's now go to the example. So we have seen an example of Drishtwatu Pandavani Kam. This is the pronunciation. Like that. And this with a Chandravindu, it has a pronunciation of ang. Okay. So like a very similar pronunciation which I can give, that is kind of ang. Okay. But it's not exactly like ang, but it is very close. It's kind of similar to, but not exactly. So let's take an example. Srimad Bhagavatam 6.8.34. So this is Narayan Kavacha section of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this verse says, watch both of the Sanskrit and the English. Vidikshu dikshur dhamada shamantad antar bahir bhagavan narasimha प्रहापयल्लोक भयं स्वनेन स्वतेजसाग्रस्त समस्त तेजः. So whenever there is a visarga, watch tejah, H with a dot at the bottom. Narasimha at the bottom. Narasing, sing is sim, like that. This is the Anushwara or This is aha, and this is ang. So all three you get in this verse. So what is the pronunciation? Prahapayalloka bhayam swanena. Prahapayalloka. That is the pronunciation. Okay. Vidikshu dikshur dhamada shamantad antar bahir bhagavan narasimha. Prahapayalloka bhayam swanena swatejasagrasta samasta tejaha. And it is represented by L with a bar at the bottom. Okay. So now, what is the difference between this Chandra Bindu and this dot and this dot? This dot with a bow, and this is a simple dot. So here, both of them are on top of ya. So here we are pronouncing, and here the pronunciation is yang. Praha payalloka bhayang. Bhayang. And here the pronunciation is praha paya. Ya. Like that. So there is a Anunasik pronunciation praha payalloka bhayam swanena. So this one is very similar to if you have a ma with a hasanta or halanta. Ma with a halanta is similar to this dot. And there is a sutra also, Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane. So what I mean, so for that you need to know what is a halanta. I will discuss that as well. So this ang is similar to A with a Ma halanta. Okay. And if we write in diacritics, so Ma halanta is simply M. Okay, Ma halanta is simply M. But whenever there is a dot on top, it becomes M also with a dot on top. So when this happens, these are actually identical. This and this, they are identical. Whenever there is some, so this is one of the Sandhi rules we will learn in future. If there is a consonant after then it becomes ang, like that. So it is the same pronunciation. So how do you pronounce? Is the pronunciation. But for this one, the pronunciation is ang. Praha payal loka. Bhayam swanena. Okay. So there is not much difference, but there is a subtle difference. And what is the pronunciation of Visarga? So the pronunciation for this Visarga is Narasimha. An easy example will be just like here I have shown you. Krishnaha, Harihi, Vishnuhu, like that. And there is a dot. So Krishnaha, Harihi, Vishnuhu, like that. So how are we pronunciation? So the last sound will be replicated with ha. What is the last sound for Krishna? A. Krishna. A. Now that A will be replicated with ha. Krishna ha. Krishna ha. Right? What is the last sound for Hari? Hari. E is the last sound. So we replicate E with a ha. Harihi. That is the pronunciation. What is the last sound for Vishnu? Vishnu. So U is the last sound. If there is a Visarga, how do you pronounce? You just replicate the last sound with a ha. Vishnuhu, Krishnaha, Harihi. Okay. So this is how we pronounce the Visarga. There is another way of pronouncing this Visarga. That is, you just put an additional stress. Okay. For this word, we can either pronounce it as Krishnaha, that is also correct. When you say Krishnaha, you explicitly show that I am trying to pronounce with Visarga. Another way is Krishna, Krishna, like that. Nah. This is how, with an additional stress also you can pronounce. Hari. Okay. You have to like throw out some air. Hari. This is also legitimate pronunciation. So you can either chant Harihi or you have to chant Hari. If the Visarga was not there, what would be the pronunciation? Hari. Simple. But if there is a Visarga, either you can chant Harihi or you have to chant Hari. Vishnu. So that ha sound has to come somehow. Therefore, in English transliteration, Visarga translates to H. Ha sound has to come. Some people find it uncomfortable to do like Hari. So therefore, they additionally make it Harihi, Vishnuhu. So both forms are accepted. Whatever you like, you can chant. But the concept is whenever there is a Visarga, the last sound will be replicated with a ha. Okay. So this is how we also learned about these three different sounds apart from the Sarveshwaras. Hope everything is clear. If at any point you are confused, just let me know. So now let us go to the Vishnu Janas or the consonants. Vowels are covered. And now we are going to the consonants. So there are many important concepts here we will learn. So what are the consonants? Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, cha, cha, ja, jha, nya, ta, tha, da, dha, na, ta, tha, da, dha, na, pa, pha, ba, bha, ma, ya, ra, la, va, sha, sha, sa, ha. So these are different consonants and they have different pronunciations. And there are so many interesting facts about them. We will discover all of them. And the transliteration or the diacritics are also given. You can note. Ka means Ka, ka. Kha means Kha. These are reasonable. Ga means Ga. Gha means Gha. Now nga. This sound is nga. And to represent this sound, there is a dot on top of n. Everything in this column is represented by n. The last one is only m. So 4 sounds are represented by n. So n has a lot of variations. N on top, if there is a dot on top of m, the sound will be nga. And if there is a tilde on top of n, then the sound will be nya. If there is a dot at the bottom of n, the sound will be ngna. And simple n is na. And ma is ma. Now we'll also discover why these are like this. Why these sounds are like this. We will come to that. Let's go slowly. So ka, kha, ga, gha, nya. Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. We have seen. Now the next is, so these rows are called vargas. These are called varga. This is called ka varga. This is called cha varga. This is ta varga. This is ta varga. And this is pa varga. So among the consonants, 5 by 5, like first 25 of them comes in a square. 5 rows and 5 columns. Very interesting. And then yara, laba, and sha, sha, sa, ha. They are separate. But this 25, they come in a 5 by 5 square. And each of the rows are known as varga. Okay. Each of these rows are varga. So the first one is ka varga, cha varga, ta varga, pa varga. So cha varga is CA. So here is some difference with the English. So in English, generally we represent cha as CH. Like chair, CHAIR. Okay. But in Sanskrit transliteration, cha is represented by only C. Why? Because there is cha also. And for cha, CH is reserved. So for cha, we have to use C. Then we may question, generally in English, we use only C as ka, like I can do this. So only C is translated to ka. Then how do we represent ka in Sanskrit? For ka, already K is there. So C we can use for cha and CH we can use for cha. Hope this is clear why CA is translated to cha. Ja is JA, jha is JHA, and then nya. We will come to how do you understand these pronunciations? I will come to that. So N with the tilde on top is nya. Then comes ta. Ta is represented by T with a dot at the bottom, like a stress. Ta. Ta is represented by simply Ta. Simple Ta is ta, but if T with a dot at the bottom, then it is ta. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. So all these varnas in this varga are with stress. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. Okay. And these varnas are simple. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. Very simple. And then the last varga is pa varga. Pa, fa, ba, bha, ma. We'll discuss there are different kinds of, there are 2 nas. One is na, another is ana. There are 2 va. One is va, another is ba. There are 3 sas. One is sa, another is sha, another is sha. So what is the difference between them? We will see. Okay. So for now, focus in this 5 by 5 square. Each row is a varga. Ka varga, cha varga, ta varga, ta varga, pa varga. Okay. So these rows have some property and the columns also have some property. Let's go to the properties of rows and columns. Just before that, I will just show you the pronunciation and the diacritics for other consonants. So this is ya, this is ra, this is la, this is va. And ya is represented by ya in transliteration. Ra is represented by ra. La is represented by la. And va is represented by va. This ba was ba. This va, there is a like section, and there is that section is missing. There is a cross. The ba with a cross is ba, without the cross is va. Okay. And then we have sha, sha, sa, ha. So there is a difference in the pronunciation. So this sha is called talabya sha. This sha is called murdha sha, and this sha is called dantya sha. Now we have to understand what does these things mean. Then we can like chant them properly with proper pronunciation. But for now, this is sha, and this comes with s and like quotation like thing on top. S with like not a bar, not a dot, but it's like a quotation mark. And this is called sha. This is s with a stress or a dot beneath. And then simply, if there is sa, the pronunciation is sa. And ha is very naturally ha. So these are the different consonants with their pronunciations. Now let us go to the different properties of this varga. Then we understand some things about this also. And this is very, very interesting. So now we are going to discuss about Vishnu Vargas. The 5 families are called Vargas. Okay. So here what we are seeing, that matrix is transposed. So ka varga I showed as like row, ka kha ga gha nga, and that is represented as column, ka kha ga gha nga, cha cha ja jha nya, ta tha da dha na, ta tha da dha na, pa pha ba bha ma. Okay. Now let's understand what are these. So this ka kha ga gha nga, that means first row in our representation, that is called ka varga, and they are called gutturals. Cha cha ja jha nya, they are called palatal. Ta tha da dha na, they are called retroflex. And ta tha da dha na, they are called dental. And pa pha ba bha ma, called labial. This representation is little different. So let me write here so that you do not get confused. Okay. So here what we see, these are gutturals, palatals, retroflex, dentals, and labials. 5 vargas, 5 different names: gutturals, palatals, retroflex, dentals, and labials. Clear? What do they mean? Now let's see. So in our like vocal cord and the entire system for pronunciation, that is called Vag Jantra, the entire apparatus for pronunciation inside our mouth. So there are different points of articulation. Okay, so if you see here, this is a cross section of the human mouth. This is the nose, and this is the like upper roof of the buccal cavity, and this is the floor of the cavity. And here we will have the tongue. Okay, this is the floor and this is the roof, and these are our lips. And these portions are called, they are like the tooth. So this is the buccal cavity. There are different points of articulation. The most innermost point of articulation, that is called guttural. This is almost touching your throat. Okay. It is the junction of the roof with esophagus. That is called gutturals. Okay. And then gradually I am coming to the front portion. From guttural, then the next portion is called palate. That is the palatal. And then the third portion is retroflex. And then we have the teeth, dental, and then we have the lips. They're called labial. So guttural portion in Sanskrit is called kantha. Kantha means almost the throat. Then you are coming to the front portion. Then this portion is called talu. After kantha, the next portion, I'm gradually coming to the front. The next portion is called talu or palate. The next portion is called murdha. The murdha is the hard roof like portion, that is called murdha or retroflex. Then you have dental or the danta in Sanskrit, and then you have labial or ostha. So guttural, palatal, retroflex, dental, labial, and they are same as kantha, talu, murdha, danta, ostha. Let me write them for your is so that you can understand. Kantha. So this portion is called kantha. The next portion is talu. These are very important to understand. These are the like science of pronunciation. This is called murdha. And this is called in Sanskrit danta. I'm not writing with the diacritics. Ideally, whenever you write Sanskrit in English, it should be with diacritics. And this is called ostha. Okay. So now you need to explore. Okay. This is like your work. So what happens whenever our tongue touches this different points of articulation, and whenever we try to pronounce, like we pronounce ka, the sound is coming from my throat, but there is a special, the sound is passing through a special junction of the tongue and some point of articulation. If the tongue is touching that particular point of articulation and like the air is passing through our mouth, then a particular sound will be generated. So during pronouncing the kanthya varnas or the gutturals, like or the ka varga, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. If you do this, you will realize that your jivha or your tongue is touching the guttural portion. Okay, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. You just see, you will feel that, and that is the innermost part, kanthya or guttural portion. Then with your tongue only, you can explore different points of articulation. After kantha, there is a soft talu. In the roof, in that roof, you will find different sections. This palate is the soft portion. When you come closer to the dantas, when you come closer to the teeth, it becomes hard. Roll your tongue and try to explore the roof. The roof is harder close to the teeth, and the roof is softer away from the teeth. That softer roof is called palate, and that harder roof is called murdha or retroflex. And this is danta, the teeth, and then ostha is labial. So whenever we are chanting, you need to do like this. Stay muted and try to do this. Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. You will see your tongue is touching this guttural portion. That is the pronunciation of ka varga. Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. Okay. Next, when you chant the cha varga, the tongue is touching the palatal portion. Try cha, cha, ja, jha, nya. It will touch the palatal portion. Then ta varga, when you chant ta, you see you have to roll your tongue and like you have to vibrate with the murdha. You have to have some friction of the tongue with murdha. Ta, tha, da, dha, ada. See, I can realize this is the roof and this is my tongue. So whenever I chant ta, tha, da, dha, ada, this is how the tongue is going. You can realize. And the fourth varga is, yeah, this is 3. Oh, ka varga, cha varga, ta varga. Okay. So the fourth one is ta, tha, da, dha, na. So if you try to chant that, then it will touch the teeth. You try to chant ta. See, my tongue is touching the teeth. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. The tongue has to have a friction with the teeth. And then the last varga is pa varga. In chanting the pa varga, pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. The tongue is resting and both your lips, they're coming together and they are going away from each other. So they are touching each other. Pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. This we can visually see. Okay. So this is a great science. And when I discovered, I was amazed that wow. So these are not something random and this has meanings. So whenever you chant the ka varga, this is the kanthya or coming from the gutturals. So let me write here also. Kantha, talu, murdha, danta, and ostha. Okay. So now you know why this is nga, because it has to match with other varnas in this varga. So if I am chanting everything from kantha, like ka, kha, ga, gha, then nga. So the nasika sound also has to come from the throat. Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. I cannot chant ka, kha, ga, gha, na. No, it's not matching. So with ka, kha, ga, gha, nga will match. So therefore it is nga. The next varga is touching the talu, talabya varnas there. Cha, cha, ja, jha, nya. See, this version of nya will match the other pronunciations in this varga. Cha, cha, ja, jha, nya. Okay. And what is the mood of the third varga? Ta, tha, da, dha. It's like hitting the murdha. So the na sound has to also come from hitting the murdha. Ta, tha, da, dha, da. And this ana is used in Krishna. And it is very prominent in Marathis. You will see they will never say Krishna like Bengalis. In Bengali, they say Krishna. There is no ada sound. But actual pronunciation is Krishna. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. So that is not a na, that is ana. Okay. Because it belongs to the third varga. Fourth varga is simple touching the teeth. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. So here the natural sound na will come. And then comes the labials. Pa varga. Pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. So if 4 other varnas are being generated by touching the lips, the anunasik also has to generate from touching the lips. So that is ma. Okay. So this is how the varnas are organized in different vargas. Okay. Now we can understand this thing here. This sha is talavya. Talavya or generated from talu. The first sha. And then the second sha is murdhanya, or it is generated from murdha. And this sa is called, this is Talavya Sha, the first one. The second one is Murdhanya Sha. And the third one is Dantya Sha. It is generated from Danta. So now you know the proper pronunciation. The Talabya Sha will be pronounced by the touch of tongue and the palate, or talu. So the pronunciation will be Sha. Like Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Shravanam. Shra. Shra. Okay. And then you have Sad Goswamis. So that Sha is the middle one. Shad Goswami. Sha. So you have to roll your tongue and hit the murdha. Sha. Sha. That is the pronunciation of the middle Sa. What was the pronunciation of the first one? Shravanam. Shra. Shra. Like that. The second one is Shra. Touching the murdha. Shad Goswamis. Shat Sandharvas. Like that. And the last Sa is simply Sa. It should come from the teeth. Sa. Like Saraswati. So this sound should be there in Sa. Okay. So this is, if we chant differently, like the Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu should be Shravanam. If we replace that with Dantasha, then it will be Sravanam. No, not Sravanam, but Shravanam. Like that. So there are differences in these three shas, and it is mostly okay for other languages. Mostly the problem comes in Bengali, they chant in a similar way. But in, I think, other languages, Marathi or Hindi, they like take care of this distinction. Okay. So now we understand these different three types of shas, and then we also understand these variations of na, because it is in the third varga ada, and it is in the fourth varga, it is na. And then we also know this is ba, ba, like barha pidam natavara bapu, barha. And this is va, va, Vrindavan. We cannot chant Brindavan. In Vrindavan, this va is used. Vishwa, Vrindavan. Okay. Vapu. And this ba is different. Barha. So we have to pay attention to this. This is ba and this is va. If you just see the English, then you are okay. So these are different pronunciations. Now, there is another interesting thing. So we covered the pronunciations. We don't have much time, so let me just try to touch up another important feature. So the pronunciations we covered, right? Okay. Let me just begin with the Alpa Prana, Mahaprana, and Ghosha, Aghosha. These two concepts I will discuss today. So we have seen how different sounds are generating from different points of articulation. Then comes the Anunasics. What are the Anunasics? Anunasik are the, like, these variations of nga, nya, na, ma. These are called Anunasics. So here again, they are using transpose of our style. So in our style, who are the Anunasics? These are the Anunasics. Anunasikas. Why? Because it is the nasal sound. The air has to pass through the nose. Like when we are chanting ka, kha, ga, gha is coming from throat directly. But when we have to chant nga, you realize your nose is also involved. Just chant and observe. Sometimes we chant this, but we do not observe. Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. You just see, you will feel some vibration in your nose while chanting the nga. Cha, cha, ja, jha, nya. You'll feel some vibration. Ta, tha, da, dha, nga. Okay. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. Pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. So some portion of the air is also coming through the nose that produces the nasal sound. And these five are called Anunasikas. So if you go by the rows, then ka kha ga gha nga cha cha ja jha nya ta tha da dha da ta tha da dha na pa pha ba bha ma. And what are the characteristics over the rows? They are generating from a particular portion. Ka kha ga gha nga cha cha ja jha nya ta tha da dha da ta tha da dha na, and the lips pa pha ba bha ma. So row wise if you go, they are all generating from the same place. Now if you go column wise, then also there is some property. Kachata tapa, kachata thapa, gajada daba, gajada dhaba, ngayana nama. So if you observe that, you will also find some interesting property over columns. So see, kachata tapa, they are coming from different places. Kachata tapa, gradually from inside to outside. Kachata tapa. And then if you go to the next one, kachata tapa, what is the difference? It is same as kachata tapa, but you are just adding a ha extra. Ka becomes kha, cha becomes cha, ta becomes tha, ta becomes tha, ta becomes tha, and then pa becomes pha. So in the first column and in the second column, there is only a difference of h. H means ha, ha means hawa. You are adding some extra air. Ka cha ta ta pa, kha cha tha tha pa. So ha, extra air is there. You realize that? And then when we go to the third column, what happens? Ka cha ta ta pa, kha cha tha tha pa, and then ga ja da da ba. Suddenly you become grave. So these are the different transformations. So from ka varga to kha varga, you are giving extra air. Then ka varga becomes, the first column becomes the second column. Extra air. If you add extra gravity, then the first column becomes third column. Ka cha ta ta pa, simple, then ga ja da da ba. Similar pronunciation in a more grave voice. And what about the fourth column? It is the same ka varga. You are adding air also, and you are adding gravity also. So see, gha jha dha dha bha. So that ghosh is there, that gravity, gha, jha, dha, dha, bha. And air is also there, gha, h is there. So you are both adding the air and the gravity. So isn't it very interesting? So the first column and the second column, what is the difference? Only air. Kachata tapa becomes khachata thapa. The third column becomes more grave, gaja da da ba. Fourth column becomes gravity with air, gaja da da ba. And the fifth column is a nasal version of the first column. This is the nasal version. So kachata tapa, khachata thapa, gaja da da ba, gaja da da ba, ngayana nama, ngayana nama. So everything with a nasal transformation. So this thing is only shown here in different ways. That is called aspiration and voicing. So in like normal language, we are telling in the first column and the second column, we are adding more hawa, air. And in Sanskrit, that hawa is known as prana or aspiration. Okay, we are adding more prana for the transformation of column 1 to column 2. And that gravity is called voicing or ghosha. In the first column and in the third column, there is a difference of ghosha. Okay. So if we see here, so the first column is called alpa prana. There is less air. And the second column is known as mahaprana. more air. Again, in the third column, it is alpa prana. In the fourth column, it is mahaprana. Prana means air, alpa means less, and maha means more. Okay. So alpa prana and mahaprana. Similarly, ghosha and aghosha. So alpa prana and mahaprana. Similarly, the third column will be ghosha. This is alpa pran plus ghosha. And this is mahapran plus ghosha. And these are aghosha. There is no ghosh. Ghosh means that gravity. First and second column. So see, now you understand everything. The first column is alpa pran and aghosha. Less air and there is no gravity. The second column is mahaprana and aghosha. There is air, but there is no gravity. The third column is alpa prana, there is less air, but ghosha. Gravity is there. The fourth column is mahaprana with ghosha. Okay, and the fifth one is nasal. So these are the science of organization of this vowels and consonants. Okay. So we discuss them. Examples of diacritics we will not take today. And conjunct consonants also will cover in the next class. A little demonstration of like what is half and full Vishnujana. Just in 2 minutes, let me explain. Then we will see more examples of it in the upcoming classes or in different verses. So, for example, when we write ka, this concept is very simple but very useful concept. The concept of halanta. So ka is equal to ka with a halanta plus a. Okay. I think you have already learned this in your native language. For Indians, it is very easy. Similarly, it is not only with ka, whatever like vowel you can have. So if it is ki, suppose, so that will be ka with a e, dirgha e. Okay. So this sound is called ka and this sound is called ki. So consonants are those which cannot be pronounced independently. You cannot pronounce this thing. If you try to pronounce, it will be very difficult. It will be something like you cannot pronounce. Okay. So suppose I am telling you vak, then you can pronounce. If there is some vowel before or after, then you can pronounce vak, vak. So the pronunciation of that ka with a halanta, this is called halanta. This sign, ka is there, then this sign is called halanta. So whenever something is with halanta, that sound is called half sound. You just observe this word vak. In the word vak, the sound of k is not complete. We are not chanting va, ka is a complete sound. But I am chanting vak. Okay, so that is the half sound. Similarly, when we are telling ki, that means half ka with a e. So anything with alanta is called half. This is half ka. So ka means half ka plus a. Ki means half ka plus e. So the consonants are those which cannot be chanted independently without the help of a vowel. And that's why they are called Vishnu Janas. They are dependent on Vishnu. Who is Vishnu? The vowels are Sarveshwaras. Sarveshwara means Vishnu or Krishna. And consonants are named Vishnu Jana because they are devotees, they are dependent on Vishnu. How beautiful. Okay. So this is the concept of half and full Vishnu Jana. I think you have already learned this in your like basic grammars in your mother tongue. Similar concept is here. And this will be very useful when we do Varna Vishlesham. Then we will see it in more details. Okay, so now any questions? You can also go through it. I will try to provide the notes in the group. If you have missed something in writing, write it down, everything by yourself, because it's a new language for many of us. And if there is any question at any point, you can reach out to me over WhatsApp. And yeah, gradually try to imbibe all these things. These are very easy, but at the same time, you have to spend some time apart from these classes. So now, is there any question? We will not touch any new topic today. Yes, Kaushiki.
Prabhu, I didn't had any questions, but I have got a doubt cleared that in
Mhm.
our Hindi also the three shas, that sha, sha and sa. I got confused when we had to use it, that which I have to use here or there. So that got cleared.
Yeah. So in
Hare
terms, yeah, in terms of the spelling, um, whenever you have to use all these three different types of sas, that depends on the formation of the word. But if in the word some particular kind of sa is already there, you know how to chant. But these words are formed in a different way. Like why there is Talavya sa in Vishwa, that is very difficult to explain. It is because of the formation of the words, and there are different like explanations in Harinamamrita Vyakaran also, that is called declination. There is a Shabda, root word, and then there is Pratyaya, and the Pratyaya gets added to the Shabda, and then different rules are there due to which different words form. So that is very complex how words form. But if in a word there is a particular kind of usage, then you know how to chant. But the other way around is very difficult. Why that particular sha is coming in some word, that is difficult. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
হরে কৃষ্ণ প্রভু।
Hare Krishna.
হ্যাঁ, প্রণাম প্রভু। বলছি আমার রিভিশন হচ্ছে পুরো সেকেন্ড টাইম এটা, আর নতুন নতুন শিখছি আবার নতুন করে। থ্যাংক ইউ প্রভু। সেকেন্ড টাইম কৌশিকের সাথে ক্লাসগুলো করছি, আমার সত্যি খুব ভালো লাগছে। সত্যি নতুন নতুন আবার নতুন করে শিখছি মনে হচ্ছে সবকিছু। হরে
Okay.
কৃষ্ণ প্রভু।
So Mataji is telling in Bengali that in Bengali they have already done this Sanskrit course. So now she is doing it for a second time and she is finding it really interesting. So yeah, all of you also try to learn this gradually. And many of the things which are very basics, I think you already know. But it's very important to get these basics cleared. Okay. So I think there is no more questions. If there is any question during any of your study, like try to analyze the verses and try to pronounce the verses. If you have, like whatever you are learning here, try to apply while you are doing scriptural study, some verses of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And if you get any doubt, let me know. Okay. Yeah, some practices you can do, like whenever you are chanting the verses of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So these two literatures you should practice on. Many different things like diacritics. First of all, you have to practice the diacritics. I will come the practice of the diacritics, and today we learn the pronunciation. So your practice can be take one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita and try to pronounce it well. Like wherever there is va, you have to chant va, not ba, and all these different kinds of saws. So try pronouncing different verses. And then you can also practice on the diacritics after the next class, that you only see the Sanskrit verse and you try to come up with the diacritics, and then you check with the diacritics that is already given in the text. So this is how you should practice. And then we will learn meters also. Then meters also you have to practice that you take up any verses and you try to chant that in the proper meter. We'll learn sandhi also. You try to break down the different words in the verse, and then you can check with word to word. So I will mention in different points. You have different kinds of homeworks. Okay, Indrani Mataji, you have some question?
No, Babu, no question. Me also learn it second time and very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's good to hear that this devotees they are doing second time and also finding interesting. Okay, so it's already late. We'll meet again next week. So this week we will have the Bhagavad Gita class tomorrow, and next week we won't have the Bhagavad Gita class. We will have the Srimad Bhagavatam class. So this is how we will alternate with 1 week with the Bhagavad Gita and the next week with Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.